Welcome to part 2 of my top 10 Xbox Live arcade games.
Soul Calibur.
There have been countless sequels of this fighting classic, but for me, the real thrill rests where it all began. Dead or Alive may be spot on for its hand-to-hand combat, but Soul Calibur fills in the gap nicely where weaponry plays such a vital role. Yes, some of the sound clips are maddening, but just listen to that epic music.
Fight.
Absolute bliss. It more than makes up for it. The game may be aging gracefully, yet in spite of this, I persist in appreciating the finer virtues that Soul Calibur bestows. The varied attacking hardware, the huge assortment of characters and the sheer brilliance of the on-screen action. Let's not forget the amusing victory poses either. Bottoms up, Voldo. Just be careful you don't get too carried away with the special moves though. It can get a little embarrassing. You soon get over it though with this fancy name entry screen. With the emblematic arcade, time attack and survival modes, there is sufficient justification to include this in my top 5. Unfortunately, there is absolutely no online experience to speak of. However, as disappointing as that fact is, not having the original Soul Calibur in my catalogue would be as equally astonishing.
You win!
With roughly an hour of gameplay from start to finish, Streets of Rage 2 certainly provides value for money while also regarded as one of the best titles to be ever released by Sega. Although the Mega Drive was and still is attacked for its musical power by a few of the Nintendo faithful, Sega often excelled in reaping the benefits of the system, as was proved time and time again in the Streets of Rage series. Providing many important lessons in life, such as why lifts are not always the safest way to reach new heights, why not to order the spicy fast food takeaway, women with whips aren't as wonderful as you were once told, and that too much sunbathing is bad for your skin. If facing the computer is getting a little tedious, how about a quick drool to settle a few scores? Will you pick up a weapon or just use your trusty mitts to cause all the damage? Just like Golden Axe, Streets of Rage 2 features online cooperative. Just be sure that you don't get in your partner's way, otherwise you will experience pain from friends as well as foes, and with so many enemies on screen, it is surprisingly easy if you're not paying complete attention. So what are you waiting for? You younger gamers have missed some truly astounding titles. Don't let the fact you were born much later than us, who were there at the time when Sega was king, provide an excuse for missing out on this one. Endured a difficult day at the office, suffered far too many headshots on Call of Duty, or maybe you're yearning for an evening of socialising and a chilled atmosphere. Uno provides the perfect antidote to all the stresses of life and indeed gaming. Unlike Uno Rush, you can actually settle down in your comfy chair, unwind and reduce those pesky troublesome thoughts running around in your head. All that remains is to relax while selecting the appropriate card.
40 below.
There is still a thought process involved and tactics are crucial in reaching the victory, but at the end of the day, Uno is all about the calmer aspects, so you can skip your yin and yang for this week. This is the ideal game for when the typical hectic pace of gaming is wearing you down, and all you wish for is something to pass the time. Encourage a chat with a few friends, while still pressing a few buttons on the controller, reminding you that you are still involved in the action. Whoever suggested 2D gaming a thing of the past was obviously ignoring the bigger picture. In fact, the high definition picture. One developer took a bit of a risk in this field, and my goodness, it has paid off. With HD visuals that scream colour and immense sensory stimulation, a set of enemies that will make you laugh at the wacky larking around while crying at their difficulty, and then the icing on the cake, the online 4-player cooperative that has to be seen to be truly believed. Castle Crashers is not just a game. It is a sharp fingernail in the eye to those developers and publishers who have said for so many years that 3D is the only way to make gaming interesting and fun. What a load of old tosh that statement has now proved to be. Not only is this 2D perspective masterpiece a joy to play, not only does it tickle your ribcage with its humour, but it is a work of art that belongs in an expensive frame hanging on your wall for all to admire. With a levelling up feature to improve your character's attributes, magic with increasing strength and dazzle, varied weaponry ranging from the shimmering sword to the mighty branch with a few leaves on it, level design with stellar imagination and outrageous allure, and still the fun keeps on coming hours later. The only reason why Castle Crashers missed out on the coveted #1 spot is due to the fact the genre isn't one that will appeal to everybody. If though you are like me and adore the thought of reliving happier times with a new modern twist, you certainly would be wise to invest in this gaming spectacle of just amazing production value. Who would have thought such a simple idea would be so terribly addictive? Dropping a ball from the top of the screen and watching it bounce around is hardly rocket science, yet Peggle achieves something very special, and that is your captivation. Some of you may have been put off by the demo, but trust me, it is one of those frustrating cases where the preview doesn't do the full game the justice it deserves. Peggle is highlighting what Xbox Live Arcade has as its core. Casual gaming that appeals to a wide audience, yet still convincing the hardcore that even simplicity will delight even the most sceptical among us. It may be a fairly basic idea, however the execution is superb. Your task is to hit all, or as many, of the orange coloured pegs. There are green pegs that initiate a perk dependent on the character you've chosen, ranging from explosions and multi-balls to magic hats and divine intervention. Purple will provide a points boost, and the boring blues will mostly just, well, get in the way. For those who enjoy a little solitude now and again will enjoy the lavish options available. First of all, you progress through the countless characters until you finally unlock them all. This will take quite a bit of time, but the real challenge rests in, yes, you guessed it, the challenge area. Being on your own though can be a little depressing for long periods. So hop onto Xbox Live and revel in the duel mode, where each of you takes a turn on the same level. Or crank it up a notch with a 4-player simultaneous point fest. Although your exclusively controlled play area fills the screen, you can still take a sneak peek at the others if you want to be nosy. There is nothing better than hearing your opponents whine as you score a bucket bonus or a crafty leap to victory at the last moment thanks to a lucky bounce. So there you have it folks, my personal top 10 Xbox Live Arcade games. With new games released each week, no doubt the list will change in the future. But for now, I hope this little selection helps you on the way to arcade thrills, spills and smaller credit card bills.